Hi, welcome back to Zach of All Trades. I'm Zach. How you been? I haven't seen you for a while. Today I'm going to be arranging a new house for my chickens since it's fall and winter is invariably on its way. But first I want to give you a little brief explanation why I haven't seen you for so long. As most anybody knows that has filmed projects, especially to put them on YouTube, if you're filming a project, it takes about 3 times as long to do the project as it does if you just did it without any cameras rolling. We have been so inundated with projects here recently over the last 6 months or what have you, that I made the decision it was probably better off to just go ahead and do the things rather than trying to make videos of doing all the things and then having only a third of the things get done. I'm going to give you a real quick rundown on some of the stuff that has gone on since we last spoke, listened, whatever, and then we'll get on to moving this chicken house. Here are some of the things that I've done since the last video. Since we now haul all of our own trash about 25 miles away, once every 2 months to the dump, I built a dumpster. My Civil War field hospital shop was beginning to show its age, so I deconstructed the whole enclosure from my trailer and used it to build a little shop to keep all my stuff in. We got a couple of vicious guard dogs. We got a tractor. Then we got another tractor. We finally got our airplane home, and the farmer's hayfield airstrip that we're using was infested with gophers. So we've been trapping gophers, 24 of them to date. So that's some of what's been going on. Things have kind of slowed down a little bit here recently, so when it came time to scratch the moving this chicken house off of my list, I thought, hey, here's a novel idea. Maybe I'll make a video about it. So, I'm sorry for the long delay, but we're back, and today we're going to be moving a shed to improve our chickens' living situation. First, I need to get the dumpster off of the trailer. One of the things that I've been the least pleased with regarding my trailer here, which has served us amazingly well thus far, but the ramp, or really more accurately the ramp hinge, when I built it, I wanted it to not rattle around and bang around a whole lot, so I built it with pretty close tolerances, and I've discovered that it was not appropriate for this application to build it with close tolerances. So the rod, it's a one-piece rod that runs all the way through, that rod is a little bit too large, and so it fits in there really tightly. My original intent was to be able to just yank the rod out and pull the ramp off if I wanted to use it for some sort of different purpose, and I've yet to be able to get the rod out of there. So today, because I'm planning on backing this trailer underneath something, I need to have the ramp down, and it'd be really just better if I had no ramp on it at all. So today I'm going to address the issue of seeing if I can get this rod out of here. I'm not really excited about this. Hey, would you mind taking a look at the other end? Tell me if the rod's moving in the inside. It's not? Yuck. about now? Oh, it is? Yeah. We'll get it out of there. 3 hours later. I'm almost there. Only got 5 feet to go. Oh yeah, that'll speed things up. Ah, we got it. So now here we are at this shed. It's at a location not very far from my house. I recently acquired it and I was planning to move it down to my house and use it as a chicken house to upgrade for my poor chickens who have been living in a dog kennel for almost a year now. But the more I look at it and the more I look at the situation as a whole, the more I think I might use this thing for my shop, give my chickens my shop, then everybody gets an upgrade. Let me show you what's inside. So as I think I mentioned, maybe I didn't, but this was built to be somebody else's chicken house. And I'm not certain, but I think that there were some chickens or some critters of some sort in it for a little bit of time. But the small amount of stuff on the floor makes me think that it was not used for chickens very long. It was pretty well put together with a whole lot of scraps, but nonetheless, it's a pretty solid little building. And it's 10 by 14, which is a far cry better than my 8 by 10 little haphazard shed down at my house. So the more I think about this, the more I think that this is going to become my shop, at least for a little while, until the next upgrade. Now the fun part, I get to see if I can get this thing on a trailer and move it.
Now, moving this shed is something that I've been thinking about doing for quite some time. And so consequently, I've thought through doing it a whole lot of times. And this seemed like, after all that thought, it seemed like the most reasonable, straightforward way to do it. Now, I probably could have condensed this down quite a bit and not made you suffer through the whole thing, but I wanted to show sort of all the moves and all the different steps that it took to walk this thing up a little at a time on one end, a little bit at a time on the other end. Now, I've got no experience moving a building. The closest I've ever come was I moved a 750-pound gun safe one time that was sitting flat on the floor. I mean, its base was sitting flat on the floor. I had to shove a crowbar underneath one end of it and get about a fingernail's width of space between it, shove a popsicle stick or something similar in between there, and then a little more and a little more and a little more. So the same process really worked here. One thing that I had to overcome was the geometry of the floor jack, which when you jack it up, the jack point wants to come toward you, and when you let it down, it wants to go away, which is no big deal on a hard concrete floor. But in this case, every time I jacked it up, it was trying to pull the building towards me, and when I lowered it, it was trying to push it away, which was kind of precarious once I had it up on cinder blocks.
And there she is, all loaded up and ready to go. Fortunately, I don't have a very long ways to go. This is pretty close to my house. And you know, this feels like that whole moving a whole house thing. I don't think that I'll probably ever have the opportunity to do that. Well, this is about as close as I think I'm ever gonna get. This was pretty crazy. So now I gotta get it on down the road and get it on down my driveway without tipping it over. This is gonna be a really slow drive. I think this is a good place to end this video. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.